Let me hit you with a truth bomb. Men don't always fall for the flash, the drama, or the chase. What truly hooks them are the quiet, sweet things most people overlook. And today I'm going to show you the 5 simple but powerful things older women do that men secretly crave. Things that make him feel drawn to you without him even understanding why. Here's the funny part. Many men will never come out and say it. They act tough, confident, and independent. But when an older woman brings these small, thoughtful gestures into his life, he can't help but feel safe, valued, and magnetically pulled toward her. If you've ever wondered why some men can't seem to get enough of you, it's probably because you're already doing one of these sweet things without even realizing it. Before I break down these 5 things, make sure you stay with me until the end, because the last one is the secret glue that makes everything else stick. Miss it and you'll miss the key to lasting attraction. Have you ever asked yourself why some older women seem to carry this magnetic pull that draws men of different ages toward them, almost like moths to a light? While society usually highlights youth and physical beauty, there's a deeper psychological effect happening underneath that most people rarely talk about. Today, we're going to reveal a truth that may surprise you. Men quietly long for older women who do these 5 gentle and sweet things. And no, this has nothing to do with money, social status, or the usual stereotypes you might imagine. This is about true human psychology, emotional depth, and the kind of attraction that builds strong, lasting bonds. I'm going to walk you through the science behind age gap attraction, real experiences shared by men who have felt this pull, and most importantly, the 5 sweet behaviors that create this natural magnetism. Whether you're an older woman who wants to understand her natural charm or simply someone curious about the psychology behind human attraction, this video is going to uncover truths you might not have considered. But before we jump in, if you want to explore more about the psychology of love and relationships, don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell. Every week we bring powerful insights, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's next. So let me start with a question that may change how you think. What if what you believed about attraction was only the surface layer of something much bigger? Let's address the obvious point first. When we speak about men being drawn to older women, we are not simply talking about a shallow physical spark or quick encounters. We are talking about something far deeper. This is the kind of pull rooted in psychology, emotional awareness, and real human connection. Research from the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships points out that men often say they feel more emotionally satisfied in relationships with women who show greater levels of emotional maturity, regardless of their age. But here's what makes it more interesting. Certain sweet behaviors that create this satisfaction tend to be more common and polished in women who have more life experience. Before we get into the 5 sweet behaviors, let's understand why this attraction develops in the first place. Dr. Helen Fisher, a well-known anthropologist who has spent years studying love and attraction, explains that human attraction works on 3 levels: lust, romantic love, and attachment. Lust is often driven by physical aspects, but romantic love and attachment go far beyond. They are influenced by emotional and psychological compatibility. Contrary to the common belief, men are not just visual beings completely controlled by youth and physical looks. Many studies, including findings from the University of Texas, highlight that men place strong value on emotional steadiness, wisdom, and caring qualities when it comes to long-term partners. These qualities, though not limited to older women, are often more developed because of life experience. The first sweet thing men secretly crave is genuine appreciation, without games, drama, or manipulation, which can sometimes be part of younger relationships. This is not about criticizing younger women, but rather noticing how life experience often teaches the importance of being real. When an older woman shows appreciation to a man, she usually does it with honesty and depth. She has learned over time that sincere gratitude and recognition are powerful in building closeness. She doesn't pretend to be distant just to get attention, doesn't use appreciation as a bargaining tool, and doesn't withhold affection to gain control. Let me share a story to make this clear. Marcus, a 35-year-old software engineer, talked about his relationship with Sarah, who was 8 years older. "What amazed me most," he said, "was how she noticed and valued the little things I did. Not in an exaggerated way, but in a real one. When I fixed her leaky faucet, she didn't just say thanks. She pointed out that I took time out of my busy schedule to help her, and she truly meant it. There were no hidden motives, no scorekeeping, just true appreciation." This kind of honest appreciation builds a positive cycle in a relationship. When a man feels that who he is and what he does really matters, he naturally feels encouraged to do even more. It's basic psychology. We tend to repeat behaviors that are rewarded in a positive way. But here's the main difference. Older women often express gratitude from a place of fullness rather than need. They are not saying thank you because they expect something in return. They are saying it because they honestly notice the value in someone. This abundant mindset is very appealing to men because it shows emotional safety and maturity. Research supports this idea. Studies in positive psychology show that gratitude is one of the strongest signs of relationship satisfaction. When gratitude is real and shown consistently, it creates what researchers call an upward spiral of positive feelings and actions between partners. The second sweet thing that sparks this magnetic attraction is emotional steadiness, combined with a naturally caring attitude. Now let me make something clear. This is not saying older women are automatically more balanced just because of age. It's about the wisdom that often comes from having gone through life's highs and lows. Dr. John Gottman, a leading researcher on relationships, has shown that being able to regulate emotions is one of the biggest predictors of long-term success in love. Older women often develop what psychologists call emotional granularity, the ability to name, understand, and manage complicated emotions in themselves and in others. This sense of emotional stability shows up in ways that men find deeply attractive. First, there is less emotional unpredictability. While some younger relationships may be full of extreme ups and downs, older women often bring a calm steadiness that men find very comforting. This doesn't mean they are dull or without passion. In fact, it's the opposite. They feel emotions fully, but they don't let those emotions take control of their behavior or damage the relationship. Second, there is a nurturing side that isn't about being maternal in a controlling way, but rather about creating support that helps growth. Jennifer, a 45-year-old teacher, explained it like this: "I've learned that nurturing doesn't mean fixing someone or taking control. It means creating a safe place where someone can be themselves and grow into their best version." This kind of emotional space is something men long for, even if they don't always know how to say it. Despite the image society often puts on men to always be tough or unshaken, many men truly want and need emotional support. They want someone who can hold space for their weaknesses without judging them, someone who can offer comfort without rushing to fix everything, and someone who can celebrate their wins without feeling insecure or threatened. This nurturing side also shows up in the way older women handle disagreements. Instead of reacting defensively, they are more likely to approach conflicts with curiosity, asking, "What's really happening here?" instead of jumping straight into attack or defense. This mindset builds emotional safety, which is the foundation of real attraction and lasting closeness. Studies from the Gottman Institute reveal that men who are with emotionally steady partners report higher levels of happiness, better physical health, and even more success in their careers. Having a partner with emotional stability creates a safe base from which they can take chances, chase goals, and show their vulnerable side. The third sweet quality men secretly crave is one that feels magnetic, confident communication with clear honesty. This is where the power of life experience becomes clear. Older women often master the ability to say what they mean what they say, and do it with both kindness and confidence. This clear honesty shows itself in ways that men find refreshing. They openly share their needs and boundaries instead of expecting men to figure them out. Instead of saying "I'm fine" when they are clearly not, or leaving vague hints, they express themselves directly. This removes the stress and guessing that often weigh down relationships. They share how they feel without turning it into drama or manipulation. If something is bothering them, they bring it up kindly but directly, instead of letting resentment build or using it as ammunition later. If they feel happy about something, they show it openly, instead of hiding behind false modesty. And when they want something, they ask for it without apology or fear. And this might sound simple, but it has huge impact. Many men admit to feeling drained when they constantly have to guess what their partner really wants. When a woman speaks her desires clearly, whether it's wanting more time together, needing a certain kind of support, or asking for closeness, it removes uncertainty and lowers tension. David, a 32-year-old marketing director, spoke about his relationship with Linda, who was 12 years older. "What I loved most about Linda," he said, "was that I always knew where I stood with her. If she was upset, she told me directly but respectfully. If she wanted something, she asked for it. If she was happy, she showed it. There were no hidden meanings, no silent games, and no constant second-guessing. It felt like I could finally breathe in a relationship." So many men who had been through past relationships full of unclear signals or quiet resentment described the same relief, a sense that they no longer had to read invisible signs or live with constant doubt. Honesty combined with kindness becomes one of the most attractive qualities because it makes a man feel safe enough to share openly too. This confident communication also shows in how older women receive both compliments and criticism. They tend to accept compliments with grace rather than brushing them off or fishing for more. They also tend to take criticism in a constructive way, instead of treating it like an attack on their worth. The idea at play here is known as emotional labor. In many relationships, especially with younger or less experienced partners, men often feel they must constantly manage emotions or decode unclear signals. With older women who speak plainly and kindly, that emotional labor is cut down, which frees up energy for both people to actually enjoy the relationship. This not only makes things easier, but also strengthens the bond. When a man sees that his partner can handle her own emotions and share them directly without expecting him to be a mind reader, it builds respect and admiration. Communication becomes less about avoiding fights and more about solving problems together. The next quality that fuels this hidden attraction is something best described as independence, paired with warm openness. It's a careful balance many older women have discovered through experience, being capable and self-reliant while also being emotionally available and present. This independence shows up in several appealing ways. For one, financial independence or security. Older women are often more likely to have stable careers, savings, and a sense of control over their lives. This reduces the pressure on men to be the sole providers and allows the relationship to rest on genuine desire rather than necessity. Then there's emotional independence. They do not rely on a partner to feel complete. They want a partner, but they don't desperately need one to define their identity. This absence of neediness is very attractive because it shows that they are choosing to be in the relationship rather than clinging out of fear. It's the difference between staying out of love and staying out of fear of being alone. Social independence matters too. They keep their own friendships, interests, and hobbies. They don't expect their partner to fill every social need, and they don't try to replace their partner's world with themselves. This space for individuality allows the relationship to breathe and grow. But what makes it powerful is that this independence does not come across as distant or cold. Instead, it's combined with what experts call secure attachment. They can stand on their own while still being warm, loving, and emotionally present when with their partner. They understand that intimacy grows best when both people bring their whole selves instead of relying on the other to fill every hole. A woman who feels secure in who she is can give affection freely, without fear, and can be emotionally available without losing her identity. Tom, a 29-year-old graphic designer, explained it perfectly. "My girlfriend Rachel is 8 years older than me, and she has this amazing balance. She has her own career, her friends, her hobbies, but when we're together, she's fully focused and present. She doesn't need me, but she chooses me, and that makes all the difference. It makes me want to do better, because I know she's with me out of genuine desire, not out of obligation." This balance forms what psychologists call interdependence, two complete people choosing to share their lives, instead of two incomplete ones trying to cover each other's emptiness. It's the difference between I need you and I choose you. That difference is deeply magnetic. When both partners arrive whole, they can give more freely, and the love that grows is more stable and fulfilling. This independence also stretches into they don't expect a partner to complete them or decide their path for them. This sense of direction and purpose attracts others because it shows confidence, strength, and maturity. It also takes away the heavy uncertainty that often comes with relationships, where one person is unsure of what they truly want. When a woman already knows the vision she has for her life, she invites her partner to walk alongside her, not to design the path for her. This kind of certainty gives men confidence because they feel they're with someone steady, someone who can stand alone if needed, and isn't afraid of being herself. The last quality, and maybe the most powerful of all, is something that can be called wisdom-based intimacy and understanding. This goes deeper than simple attraction or even emotional chemistry. It's about the kind of insight that only comes from living through different seasons of life, loving, losing, learning, and growing. This wisdom-based closeness shows itself in many ways. They understand that real relationships take effort, and they are ready to put in that effort. They don't expect perfection from a partner or the relationship itself. They know that love is both a feeling and a choice, and they keep choosing it even when times are tough. They also understand that putting effort into a relationship is not a weakness. Showing up, talking things through, and fixing issues when things break down are signs of care and loyalty, not desperation. They also have perspective on what truly matters. Because they've faced different challenges, they often know what's worth arguing about and what's better left alone. They don't waste energy on small arguments, and they help their partners see struggles in a calmer light. They are also more open to closeness and vulnerability. Having gone through both joy and pain, they are willing to open their hearts and welcome their partner into their deeper world. This creates the kind of emotional bond many men crave but rarely find. For men who've only been with guarded or defensive partners, this type of warmth feels like coming home. They also understand the natural cycles of love. They know passion has highs and lows, that closeness can shift at times, and that none of this signals failure. This steadiness builds trust and removes much of the worry that often weighs down relationships. Lisa, a 41-year-old counselor, explained it well. "I've learned that real closeness isn't about avoiding problems," she said. "It's about how you face them together. I know now the goal isn't finding someone perfect, but finding someone you can grow with and face storms with." This kind of approach is very attractive because it offers both stability and depth. It assures men that the relationship will be a safe place where both can be real, where mistakes are allowed, and where growth is possible. The intimacy that grows from this kind of wisdom is also richer and more layered. It's not only physical or emotional, but also intellectual and even spiritual. Older women often bring insights and perspective that make conversations more meaningful, broaden viewpoints, and keep love alive over time. They can use past lessons to avoid needless conflict and to build stronger bonds. This mix of steadiness and richness creates a connection that feels rare, a connection many men admit they didn't even know they wanted until they experienced it. From a scientific point of view, there are clear reasons these qualities are so magnetic. Evolutionary psychology shows that people naturally look for partners who can bring security, support, and strength for life's challenges. While youth might signal fertility, emotional maturity signals readiness for lasting partnership and the ability to face difficulties together. When maturity combines with warmth, honesty, and independence, attraction goes beyond surface level and grows into trust, respect, and a vision for the future. Dr. David Buss's research on partner selection shows that while men may care about physical looks, they also highly value kindness, emotional stability, and intelligence. These traits are often more polished in women who have gained wisdom through real-life experience. Brain science also explains why these qualities have such strong impact. Oxytocin, the bonding hormone, rises when people feel safe and appreciated. The steady gratitude and emotional security many older women bring can raise oxytocin levels in their partners, deepening closeness and trust. Dopamine, the reward chemical, is triggered by joy and consistency. The honesty and lack of games often seen in older women's relationships lead to steadier dopamine rewards, making the relationship more uplifting and less draining. Serotonin, the chemical tied to feelings of contentment, is higher in people who feel valued. The deep intimacy, independence with warmth, and emotional depth older women carry often raise serotonin in their partners, leaving them calmer and more fulfilled. Psychologically, many men in their 20s, 30s, and even 40s are still learning emotional skills and awareness. Being with someone who has already grown in these areas can speed up their growth and give them a model of what maturity looks like in action. Here are some real-life examples, shared with names changed for privacy. Michael, 38, married to Elaine, 47, said, "What drew me to Elaine wasn't her age, it was her presence. She had this calm confidence, like she knew exactly who she was. On our first date, she didn't play games about who should pay or what we should do. She simply said, 'I'd love to try that new Italian place, and I'm happy to split the bill if that works for you.' It was such a relief to be with someone so open and straightforward." James, 26, in a relationship with Monica, 34, shared, "Monica showed me what real partnership is. She values what I bring to the table, but she doesn't need me to complete her. She has her own job, her friends, her own life. When we're together, it's because we both want it, not because either of us is holding on from fear. That independence has pushed me to grow and become a better man." Robert, 31, describing his relationship with Patricia, 39, said, "The biggest difference was her maturity. In my past relationships, even small disagreements felt like disasters. With Patricia, we could disagree, talk it out, and move forward. She didn't carry bitterness or bring up old fights. She could separate the problem from the person, and that changed everything." Daniel, 29, talking about his relationship with Sophia, 41, said, "Sophia showed me how important emotional safety is. She never tried to change me, but she inspired me to be my best self. She had this amazing mix of independence and care that made me feel respected, but also deeply wanted. For me, it wasn't about her age, it was about her energy." All of these stories point to the same themes: appreciation for honesty, steadiness in feelings, independence with care, and the comfort of being with someone who has learned through real experiences. But these qualities don't simply appear with age. They grow from reflection and self-growth. Some younger women already show them, while some older women may not.